Welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina, and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. As you see by the title, I have all new spring decor for 2023 that you absolutely must try, and today is especially themed after my favorite book and movie, Alice in Wonderland. Remember, if you are new here, I hope you stick around by clicking that big red subscribe button down below, and without further ado, let's jump into it and let's art today. Today's DIYs and inspiration came from this tray that I had for a while. My spouse painted it first with a red stain and it no longer fits our home decor, so today I'm going to change that. I knew I wanted to give this tray a nice fresh coat of paint, so I went in with my folk art home decor chalk paint in the color sheepskin. I really like this color around springtime because it's light and airy but not too bright, so that it pairs well with other colors. I did paint the whole tray and I gave it nice 2 thick coats of paint. After I had my tray completely dry, I knew I wanted to give some sort of design in the center of it. So I started thinking around, and that's when it hit me. I wanted to make a checkered pattern in the center. So I'm taking a ruler and a pencil and I'm just making a few lines going vertically and horizontally so that I can make those perfect squares. I'm just using the width of the ruler to act as my guide for this. Now for this part, I did have to bend my ruler just a little bit, and later on I did cut a piece of wood that fit exactly in it with the same width so that it would help me further outline these lines. If you are going to try to recreate this and can't find a tray specifically looking like this one, Dollar Tree always carries so many different trays now, especially in their plus section for about $3. If not, you can always check your local thrift store. Here's how my little squares turned out after I penciled everything in, and this just gets me so excited because this is one of my favorite DIYs that I have done. I then am now taking a black Sharpie marker and outlining those existing lines that I just created. I like doing this step before painting because if I couldn't get close to the outer edges, that black marker will help fill in those spaces. Like I mentioned before, to make sure that I have straight, even lines, I did cut down a stick to act as my little ruler now to help me make those lines nice and even. After that was completed, I then took the same Sharpie marker and made little X's in every other square so that when I'm ready to paint, I know exactly which square to fill in. Once I had all of my boxes X'd out, it is now time to finally paint them in. I am going in with just a regular black acrylic paint and a very thin paintbrush so that I can be nice and neat with my painting, making sure to stay within those boxes that I outlined. This does take a little bit of time, so I do suggest putting on either your favorite music or your favorite TV show just to pass the time. However, this was really therapeutic for me, so I just turned on my favorite tunes and I finished painting all of the squares that needed to be painted. After the paint had time to completely dry, it is now time to decorate the outer edge of my tray. I have some of these number rub-on transfer stickers from Dollar Tree. I really love using these. They are so cool. They come in different sizes and different fonts to decorate anything that your heart desires. I am just going to cut out a bunch of different numbers so that I can start rubbing them on my tray. After I had enough stickers cut out, I am going to start attaching them to my tray. Now these are pretty self-explanatory, but if you haven't used these before, all you need to do is to remove the backing of the sticker, place it down on your project, and then start rubbing it either with your finger or a tool like I have in my hand until the front of the sticker comes off easily. To give the tray more interest, I will continue adding all of the sticker numbers onto the front of my tray, but making sure to put them in different directions and some hanging off of the tray so it looks like a bunch of numbers are floating in front of the tray. Make sure you stick around till the end so you don't miss out on how I decorated this tray. To make my tray more springtime and on theme, I have these other rub-on transfers that have these beautiful flowers and leaves that I will also place sporadically all over the front of my tray. While I am finishing up the rest of my stickers, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but make sure to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you when I upload a new video. Plus, I would love for you to be part of my virtual my tray turned out. I absolutely love it. Now, after I was done with it, it really helped inspire me for the rest of my DIYs in today's video for the Alice in Wonderland theme in my interpretation. But like I mentioned before, I only did the front of this tray, and I would love to know down in the comment section if I should just go all the way around the tray with the same design. Moving right into our next DIY, I have this glass jar that I purchased from Dollar Tree that I thought was so gorgeous. Now at first I thought I was going to spray paint this black. However, I really liked the little pink hue that the glass gives, so I left it as is. For the next part of this DIY, I am going to use one of these little wooden bunnies from Dollar Tree. I already stained it last year and I'm just reusing it. And I made a little tag in using one of Dollar Tree's really thin pieces of wood. I also have these mini keys for this DIY and some string. I first started painting my little bunny and the tag that I made out of a piece of wood with my folk art home decor chalk paint in the color sheepskin. I do give each one of these pieces 2 coats of that paint, waited it for it to dry, and then I went in with my Posca paint marker in black and started outlining the outer edges of that tag. That was done, I then took a long piece of string off of the roll and cut it down to size. Then I took one of those little keys off of the backing of my packaging and I stuck the yarn or string through the key hole. Then I was trying to figure out how I was going to attach the yarn to my tag since I didn't make a little hole. So I decided to make a little knot and then hot glue it to the front of the tag so that it had a way of holding on to one another. To attach the bunny, I am going to do the same method. Instead of attaching it straight onto the tag itself, it has its own string. I just wrapped the little string around the bunny's neck, tied a knot on the back of it, and so that way I have its own string to tie onto my little glass jar. Like I mentioned, now that everybody has its own little string, I'm just tying it on the outer edges of my glass jar all the way up to the top of the glass. Now I first added the tag part and the key, and now I'm adding the bunny. After I have the best placement where I want everything to lay, I then remove the excess using a pair of scissors. The last thing I wanted to do for this DIY was to write on the tag that says drink me. I'm just writing it on. I usually use stickers, but this tag was so tiny that I figured I can just draw it on, but you can make your tag however you like it, and that completes this DIY. Little jar turned out. It was really quick and simple to do and only took minutes to make, but I would really love to know what you think. Dollar Tree has really been stepping it up with their decor for this year, especially with their florals. I found some of this lavender floral sets at Dollar Tree along with this greenery that I thought would work perfectly for this next DIY. I have this teapot that I had made over years ago, and I thought it would work perfectly for today's DIY. All I wanted to do was add some of these florals right into my teapot so that it matched my Alice in Wonderland theme for today. So as you see here, I just needed to cut down the florals on the stems of each bundle using these pair of pliers. They have a little wire cutter in the center of it, but I really need to get a new one because I was really struggling trying to cut them off. After I have everything cut off, I just place that to the side so that I can start working on my teapot. All I needed to do was add a couple of pieces of floral foam inside of my teapot so that my flowers have something to adhere to. I just cut it down to size, placed it in there, and then I'm just starting to add all of my florals and greenery in there sporadically. I have no rhyme or reason. I just wanted this teapot to look like it was really overgrown. If you would like to see any additional photos of today's DIYs or past DIYs, come check out my other socials. All of the links will be down in the description box below. I have a Facebook and an Instagram page where I'm always posting photos of my DIYs. Here is how my teapot turned out, and I absolutely love it. Now, if you would like to recreate this teapot exactly, I suggest checking out your local thrift stores. They're always having teapots on sale, and all you need is a little bit of paint and you have yourself a nice decorative piece. You can't call it Alice in Wonderland theme decor without some mushrooms. Thank goodness Dollar Tree carries these ceramic mushrooms that are absolutely gorgeous. However, the one on the right that it has a little red tint to it wasn't really my style, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a makeover. Since these are ceramic pieces, you can take them outside and give them a nice spray paint. However, I didn't have a flat red spray paint, so I am using my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Imperial. I do give the top of my mushroom a couple coats of paint just so that everything was adhered down nicely and everything was nice and opaque. My mushroom had time to completely dry. I then took some white acrylic paint and a rounded tipped paintbrush and started making little circles all over the top of the mushroom. You can get the same effect using the back of a paintbrush by dipping it into the paint and just dotting on the little circles. I did continue adding little dots on top of my mushroom until I got the desired look that I'm going for. After I was done with that, I noticed my mushroom on the bottom needed a little bit of shading, so I just took some gray acrylic paint and started painting the little increases of my little mushroom. Then I placed that to the side because I wanted to give this mushroom a little friend and a little different decor. So I took one of Dollar Tree's mini clay pots and I started painting it using the same paint in my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Imperial Red. Once again, I took my white acrylic paint and my rounded tipped paintbrush and added little dots all over the little pot. After I was done painting the pot, I didn't really like the succulent anymore, so I took some of these carrots from Dollar Tree and I pulled one out to replace the succulent. To remove the succulent, all I did was twist it and pull it really hard so that it just pops right out, but I left the dirt piece in the pot. Next, I needed to figure out how to lay the carrot inside of the pot, so I just cut it down to size using an X-Acto knife first, and then use a sharp pair of scissors to cut off the excess yarn. Then I'm just going to hot glue the yarn back onto the little foam piece and then add some more hot glue to the bottom of it and glue it into the pot, and that completes these. No time at all to make, and they turned out super cute. But once again, I would love to know what you think about these two DIYs. For my last DIY, if you can call it that, because this one is super simple. All I am using is a 4x6 picture frame, taking out all of the contents, even the glass, for video purposes. And all I did was find a scrapbooking paper that I absolutely love that have these 3 butterflies on it, and then inserted that into the picture frame, and that is it. But don't forget to stick around to the end so you can see how I decorate. Finally, time to decorate the tray for you. If you have made it this far into today's video, I would love for you to put down in my comment section below little butterfly emojis. And if you do not have those, you can always write out the word butterflies so I know that you stuck it out all the way to the end with me. Today's DIYs, I had an absolutely blast making all of these today. I really love this theme and I am super excited to make more so that I can have them all over my house. If you really enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Also, leave me a comment down below if you would like to see more DIYs just like this in the future. Remember to leave me a butterfly emoji down in the comments as well, along with which one was your favorite DIY of the day. If you are new to my channel, I hope you stick around by hitting that big red subscribe button down below. It is totally free, but don't forget to click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you when I upload a new video. Don't forget to check out my other socials. All of the links will be down in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, I will see you in the next one.